Hi, my name is Steen Schmidt and welcome to this migration demo showing how to move a VM from OVM 3.4 to OLVM 4.3. This demo is based on a blog by Simon Cotter. First we'll see the VM in my OVM environment, which I want to move to my new OLVM server. So I'm moving from a CentOS-based hypervisor to a KVM-based hypervisor. So before we start out, we need to prepare some simple tasks on the KVM server. So the initial step is to log into the OLVM KVM server, which is the one that's going to do or manage our migration. So we need to install some libraries first on this server. And please just follow the instructions here or go and read the blog, but this is of course to show all the initial steps that needs to be accomplished before this KVM server is ready to become my migration host. The next step we need to do is to prepare the Cent server. As you will see on the Cent server, we need to change some small parameters for it to be able to, for us to communicate between the KVM server and the Cent server while doing the migration. So please just follow the next steps which will be happening here. So what's actually happening here is that we're just changing the behavior of our Cent server here, and here the program requires us to change some of the parameters, operation parameters, which will determine the behavior of our daemon at runtime. So this is what's happening. We are enabling the port for listening, so it can be communicated between the KVM server and the Cent server. So that's what's happening at this point. And move on to the next. So as this is finishing now, we will just restart the service on the Cent server, and then we'll move on to the KVM server, where we need to do some tasks that are set as above. First, we need to run on the KVM server is to verify that we can get a list of the VM running there. So we will log in and we say yes, and then password, and then we should hopefully get a list, and here you will see that domain 0 is running. Yes. So next step is that we get the OL KVM VDMS daemons self-authenticating to the OVM server. So we're copying the keys, doing a sudo, copying the key and moving the key over to the Cent server, and then we'll verify that everything works without having to enter a password, and we'll see here and there, yes, and we are there. We now need to copy the Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager certificate onto the KVM server, which is what we're doing here with SCP, the IP address of our OLVM manager, and then where it needs to go, and this is what's happening here. The next step we need is to create a password file for the KVM host, so to access the Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager through the API, which is what we're doing here. Since I'm using NFS on my OVM environment, I will just jump directly to the step setting up the path between my OVM repository and the KVM server. So basically that means that I'm making sure that my KVM server can read my image files on my repository on OVM. So what's happening here is that I'm mounting my NFS share from my OVM repository to my KVM server. In the meanwhile, I've started my VM on the OVM server, so I need this for the next step, where I will be using the same command as I used previously, where I list all my VMs on the OVM server. As you can see here, I've listed my running VMs on my OVM Cent host. Next step will be to get the configuration of the VM copied into an XML file, so I can use that in my migration process. This XML file will be used to use the virt-v2v process to import the virtual machine into Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager and the Oracle Linux KVM server. So the next step will be the physical migration. But I've done this little step here, which is not documented, is just to write a file into the Oracle Linux server itself, before I stop it and move it out of the system. So it's important to emphasize you need to stop the VM before you start the migration. So this is the command v2v libvirt, the XML file, which is doing the process, and now we will see the process happening, and it will just take a few minutes. This is a 12 gig file being moved, and I speeded up the process so we don't need to wait so long. So some more notes on it. This is of course how to demonstrate how to move a single VM, but you can do it on any of your VMs, Windows, Linux, whatever. And as you will see in a few moments, the VM will pop up in the Oracle Linux Virtualization Manager. So as you can see, it finished, and if we zoom in here, you will see a long ID coming up, which was the ID of the VM we moved, and we will edit it and giving it some meaningful name, and then after that give it some network, and we'll start it up and we'll check to see if this is the VM we moved. In just a moment I will spin it up and we will log into it through the console, and you will see just here, we'll click on here and you will see that it's booting up, and this is the process of moving a VM from CentBase to KVM. Thank you.